I want to show you how comments work in Java, because you're probably going to come across quite a few classes whereby you're not really sure what they do, and you need to look up some of the documentation. I think the easiest way to do it is to generate some of our own documentation, so you can have a quick look at what's going on. Got a couple of classes here. Here is the main class called my comments. You can say this is the front door to the program. There, it's got a main method in it, and I've just created one class of it called stuff, and I've populated some of the comments. When you create a Java class using NetBeans or Eclipse, it pretty well sticks all the comments in for you. And up to now, we've just been deleting these, so I'm just going to leave this stuff in. You can see I've added various comments, and it's pretty easy to add more. And lots of stuff, something like that. Easy to add the comments. You can see the format. Comments start with a slash and two asterisks, then it's asterisk all the way down, then it closes with an asterisk and a slash. That's basically how it works. You can pull out the parameters as well. If you use these sort of keywords like this, it'll recognize these sorts of phrases and pull those out when you generate the documentation. If I have a quick look at this, I can show you how this works as well. This is quite a neat trick that most IDEs will do. I had a parameter called int and a parameter called string, and I wanted to make those private and have the getters and setters. Well, there's something within Eclipse and in NetBeans that'll do it for you. I'll show you that in a second. Before we get on to that, I just wanted to show you, if I just take this class here, my comments.java, and if I create a class out of that, so if I said my comments, I don't know, MC equals new my comments, and just create that object, comments, just put an S on that. If I now do MC and press the dot, a bunch of methods pop up, and you may have wondered where these methods actually appear from. Well, implicit in the creation of any Java object is the fact that they all extend the base objects. There's a base class called object where all these things come from, and in fact I could actually show you that. This is a pointless piece of code because it doesn't do anything extra, but if I actually said extends object, that's basically object. That's basically what happens behind the scenes. Every time you create an object from a class, it extends all the way back to the original, the base class, which is object. So when you do MC like this, those are the methods that you get in an object. So every time you produce another class, you get whatever your class has produced plus all that was originally in the original object. So we have stuff.java here, and I've put a couple of getters and setters in there. See, get age and set age, get mood and set mood. So if we were to let's just remove this here, and if I was to put in lost the cursor, delete that for a second, and put in here stuff me equals stuff, that sounds a bit rude, stuff my stuff, change it to that, more polite, stuff equals new stuff, and when I now do my str like this, dot, when you look at the things, you can see the classes that I wrote: get age, get mood, set mood, and the other ones are the ones that inherited from the base object class. So whenever you create an object, you get all of the methods in that that the class design gave it, plus all the others that it came from. So that's the first thing to recognize about documentation. Second thing is that if I was to let's create another class here, say file, new class, let's call this extendy thing, something like that, stedny, the extendy thing, there we are, something like that. And when it creates this, if I now public class extendy thing and now extends stuff, and I'll show you this this little trick about encapsulating your variables. So let's say I have int I don't know, my money, something like that. That might seem reasonable. And you would normally make this private int my money, and then you'd have a get money and a set money. Well, there is a shortcut way of doing this. If you just highlight it and hit refactor, down here you can encapsulate fields. Click that, and I'll have a get my money and a set my money. You can alter the order that they do these things. If it's going to do a few of them, you can mess around with that. But if I refactor that, there we are. It's turned my money into private, and it's now introduced public int get my money and public int set my money, and we can add comments to these things. So I could put in here also by me, this gets my money, and put something here, this sets my money, something like that. So that's basically all of that commented. Let me just control S that. Let's have a look. I've got comments in here. Stuff Java. That looks pretty good. And what have I got here? Let me just check. I've got some stuff written here. What is this? My comments. This is the start of the main, something like that. THE. I don't know why I've started to do that. I think it's an age thing. So there we are. So you've got some sort of basic documentation going. If I now go to run and generate that, now this won't work over the network. You've got to generate it to a named drive. So if you try to do this in college and generate Java doc, it'll look like it generates it, but you won't see anything. So you have to. I think you're going to have to find save it to the your memory stick or something like that. But if I hit generate comment, it produces a bunch of web pages. And when this eventually pops up, you'll see all these web pages done, and here we are. So this package of my comments, it's got an extended thing, it's got a my comments class and a stuff class. So if I go to the my comments thing, you can see it's called my comments, and it extends Java Lang object, because that's the base object. So you're going to get basically my comments is the default constructor. Every object gets a constructor, whether you write it in or the system puts one in. You've got a static void main, that's the method in there, and then you've got a bunch of methods here that are inherited from the Java object. There's some constructor detail, and there's the main, and I put in my comment here, this is to start the main class. So that's the sort of documentation you get of that. If I was to look at this one called stuff, this knows that it's got a subclass of it, which it gives you a bit of a warning about. We'll look at that in a second. This is what I wrote. There are my methods: get age, get mood, set age, and set mood, and those are the methods that are inherited from Java Lang object. And you can then go down and have a look and say, there's get age, that's what it does, it returns my age. There's get mood, set age, and set mood, and if there were loads of them, you can click directly on these, and it's all hyperlinked to these web pages. It builds all these web pages automatically for you. If I just look at the extended class here, now you can see the pecking order. See that you've got Java Lang object, you've got my comments.stuff, and then you've got my comments.extended thing. So and it tells you extends stuff also by me. It's got a couple of extra methods here: get my money and set my money, and then it's got, because it extends a class, it's got all of those methods from my comments.stuff, and because that extends from the base object, it inherits all of those, and then you can actually go down and get some detail on these things, and you can click backwards and forwards. I could go back to my comments.stuff, I could click on that, it'll take me back to the that bit in my comments. And that's basically how comments work. Now we're going to be moving into using classes that other people have written, like the Java development kit and so forth. And when you're doing that, a lot of the time you want to figure out what the programmer actually wrote. What his thoughts were when he was writing this stuff. So that's basically how comments work. Have a little play yourself, but just remember to generate your comments to something like your memory stick in order to be able to see them.